More weather in the next half hour with the colorful ladies from Wisconsin. Elizabeth?
All right, Sam, thanks so much. Now to a GMA medical mystery. Thousands of Americans come down with Lyme disease every year. If left untreated, the infection can spread to your nervous system and even your heart. A California woman has been battling Lyme disease symptoms for more than a decade because it took years to get the right diagnosis. Finally, an experimental treatment put her on the path to recovery and gave her a chance at a normal life.
Let's take a look at one problem. I'm able to move from the waist down and the neck up and had no idea why.
It took 7 years to find the answer. In 2001, Brooke learned she had Lyme disease, a bacteria spread by the bite of a tiny tick. Every year, about 20,000 Americans are diagnosed
Affected by this.
Since then, life has been an uphill battle.
I lost hearing in my left ear. I began to lose my sight in both eyes. I developed gallstones, spinal meningitis, colitis, heart arrhythmia, palpitations. I had to contemplate things like just a lifetime artery leading into my heart.
The experimental treatment, not approved by the FDA, consisted of pumping high doses of antibiotics into her heart for 24 hours a day for 2 months. She also underwent 30 days of treatment in a hyperbaric oxygen chamber. Her doctors hoped by hyperoxygenating all the tissue, it would allow the medication to penetrate much deeper and reach the organism. She will be dealing with its damage for years to come.
I just pushed through it, but I hope to God that it's not another 50, 60 years of this kind of pain.
A medical mystery solved, though. As we heard, Brooke Landau still has a way to go, and she joins us live this morning. This is an incredible story.
Blood test.
You say that actually during that process, a lot of times doctors suggested to you it was all in your head?
Yeah, and that's not unusual in the Lyme community. There are hundreds of thousands of people with this disease. Thousands of them email me, and they've, my story is horrifying, but they've had it upwards of 15, 20, 25 years, and they're told that it's all in their heads and they're crazy. And we're talking about some of the, most major medical facilities in this country saying that.
And you know that you were as relatively unusual in addition to the unreliability of that diagnostic test. You went for a long time wondering what was wrong with you.
Right, and it's absolutely horrifying, not just for me, but for my family as well. I mean, my parents would have spent any amount of money or done anything and brought me anywhere to have helped me escape all of this years and years of pain, but that's the problem. There was no...
So on how to avoid Lyme disease in the first place and how you can recognize those symptoms if you do get it. And here to talk about that is ABC's medical editor, Dr. Tim Johnson. And Tim, what is exactly Lyme disease, and do you only get it from ticks?
It is a disease caused by a bacteria, a very special kind of bacteria. It is transmitted by deer ticks primarily. Deer ticks feed on other animals, pick it up, then they attach themselves to humans and start sucking on the blood. If it's attached more than 24 hours, you have a much greater DEET, that's D-E-E-T, that they, at the end of the day, examine themselves and their kids and their pets for ticks. Ticks are very small, but when they get engorged with blood, you can see them, and you should pull them off very carefully with a tweezer, not squeeze them, but pull them gently off. All of those maneuvers are designed to get the disease in the first place, which is the best way to go.
Right, but I mean, I have 2 young boys, and we did this over the summer. I mean, my husband and I would inspect for ticks every night, very stressed out about whether or not we were going to see it. We don't want to use DEET and a repellent because we know that's dangerous for children. If I catch the tick...
If they develop any telltale symptoms, which can include, of course, the rash that we talk about. Sometimes we call it a bullseye rash when it has a clear center. You get a lot of flu-like symptoms typically, meaning headaches, fever, body aches and pain, etc. If you live in a tick-infested area and you've been bitten by a tick or seen a tick, even if you don't have any symptoms, or if you have symptoms and you haven't seen a tick, either one, I say, go to the doctor and consider being treated right away with antibiotics.
All right, and how reliable quickly are those antibiotics, Tim?
Well, if
people are out and exposed to it.
Absolutely.
And you can learn more about Lyme disease at our website at abcnews.com. Coming up next, a marriage made in cyberspace. Why thousands are going online to ask, will you marry me?